Okay. Um, we're doing a project on the difference between American attitudes towards consumerism and materialism and the way that that relates to social justice. So, in your experience, how do attitudes towards consumerism and materialism differ from each other in the DRC and the United States?
Okay. Well, part of me wants to say there's no difference at the kind of the base level. When someone becomes consumeristic and materialistic, it really doesn't matter how much money you make. And poor people can be as materialistic as rich people. And I definitely have seen it in America because I grew up here, and I realized that the whole American dream and the idea that if I can have a bigger house and a bigger car and have more stuff, that somehow I'm going to be happier. That's kind of in our DNA. I feel like in the Congo, a lot of young people grow up in poverty, but they still hear that lie. And whether they hear that lie because of Western media or something that's like, oh, I'm going to be happy if I can just have more stuff as well. And so I just feel like the love of money, it doesn't really matter what your paycheck is. And the per capita income in the Congo, it's like $200 per year per capita, and in the States it's like $34,000, and so they're two different universes. But the love of money is the same, and I guess I would have to say I see it more here because I grew up most of my life here. But there was, I don't want to make this idealistic, but I think historically in the Congo, especially when you're in more rural areas and tribal groups that were pretty much intact in rural areas and not in the urban setting, my gut feeling is there's more contentment. Kind of, I think we could probably say the same thing about the history of the United States. Families that were extended families that lived in the same place, maybe we were more agrarian at that time. There seemed to be a level of contentment. And then when industrialization came and modernization came and everybody got busy, and I would say this, I've talked to some older Congolese people that said when currency was introduced, that's when everything began to fall apart. And there were barter systems, there was an agricultural economy, and it's kind of like whenever currency came, a lot of their customs, which were good customs, like one was the bride price that was paid for when a young man wanted to get married, he had to pay say a cow or two cows to the family, where he was in a sense taking their daughter. And then it got switched to the price of a cow or the price of two cows, and then somehow greed began to come into the system, and it wasn't a cow, it was just the money. And it's kind of wreaked havoc on some of their cultural customs. So I would say discontent came when there was more emphasis on money.